Hello and welcome to this tutorial on creating building footprint polygons for deep learning in QGIS. In this lab, you learn how to manually create high-quality building polygons using QGIS. So these building footprint polygons will be used later to train a deep learning convolutional neural network model. So why is this important? So machine learning or deep learning models are only as good as the data they are trained on. If your polygons are inaccurate or incomplete, your model will produce poor results. So that is why manually digitizing clean, sharp building footprints is important, especially in these areas where we don't have existing accurate polygon data. Right, please take note in this tutorial I'm using this orthophoto image. So this was produced from area photos that were acquired in 2015 during a Department of Surveyor General and JICA project for mapping Harare and its environs. So this is a part of the orthophoto imagery for the municipality of Chitungwiza, and I'm only using this imagery which measures 4 kilometers by 2 kilometers. Right, so this image, just for information, this is data that is licensed to a local company in Zimbabwe called LocaSense. So it's licensed from the Department of Surveyor General. So this is not for distribution purposes. However, those who want to follow up on this kind of tutorial, I'm going to leave a link where you can download free high-resolution datasets from Google Earth Engine. And then you can use that to create your own training polygons that you can use for running deep learning models. Right, so let's get started. So the first thing that you need to do is, of course, you need to load your satellite imagery or aerial photo. So you go to layer, add layer, and then add raster. So for my case, I've already loaded this orthophoto image. And next, I want to create a new shapefile that is going to contain the building polygons. So I click new shapefile, and then here I'm going to save the shapefile in my preferred folder. So I'm going to shape this file as TR 9207. I give the name of the city. So this is Chitungwiza, the one. Right, and the geometry is going to be a polygon, since we are getting the building footprints. And then for the coordinate reference system here, I'm going to use UTM, zone 36 south for this area. Right, and then I have to create the attributes that we are going to use. So please take note that QGIS already allocate the ID, which is an integer here. So my first attribute or field is going to be class. So this I'm interested, I may be interested in different kind of classes or land use classes. So for example, building is an example of the class. So this is going to be text, and I'm going to limit it to 20. And then I add, I click add to field list. Next, I want to create the class ID. So I will create this CL underscore ID, and this is going to be an integer because it's going to contain the numbers. So I click add, and then finally I want to create the class type. So again, I'm going to write CL underscore type. So this is going to be a text, and I'm going to limit it to 20. So type means, for example, if I have a building as the class, and then the type could be residential, commercial, or educational. Right, so I add, so these are the type of the attributes, the columns that I have, the field columns that I have. Right, then next I just click OK, and then here is my new layer or feature that I'm going to use to digitize the building polygons. Right, so let me just go to the properties here, and then I try to change the color, and then I come here. I want to have a transparent fill, and for the stroke color, let me choose red. Right, and then I apply OK. And then we have our changes. Right, so this is a lot of work because the idea here is that we want to digitize most of these buildings so that we have the polygons saved here in this feature. Right, so these are a lot of buildings. So this is going to take weeks to complete digitizing, especially if you are doing it alone. Right, but it's important that you do it very well. Right, so what I will do now is I'm going to click on toggle editing, and then I come to the add polygon. So if I click here, I start now digitizing. Okay, I get the feature. So this is ID 1, and then the class here is building. Okay, and let me copy it, and then the class ID is 1, and then next the class type here, I'm going to put it as a residential because these are houses. Okay, and then okay. Right, next I go to the second building. So this is a 2, and then for the class building, and then the type is 1 here, and then we have the class type is residential. Okay, then we click OK, and then we pick this other building, and again 3. So class is building, the type is 1, and the class type is residential. Residential, and that's it. Then we go on, we pick another building. Okay, and this is number 4, and then this is a building, and then the class ID is, we are still in 1, and then this is residential, and then that's okay. And then as I said, this is a very a time-consuming process, but it needs to be done. So let's say, for example, we have a school here. So we want to pick the school. So this is an example of the school. We come here. We pick the school. So this is 5. Then again, this is building, but now the class ID is changed to 2 because this is an educational facility, right? So education, since this is a school, and that's okay. Let's see if we can find some shopping center, so that we also have an example of a shopping center. Okay, so here we have example of a shopping center. Let's pick okay. Okay, so this is ID is 6, and then again the class is a building. And then the class type here now, the ID is 3, and the type is commercial. Right. So you continue picking your building footprints until you complete digitizing for the whole of this orthophoto. Because remember, in the project area we have 1,000 of these orthophotos, but we want to have one orthophoto which is a representative for the area. We are going to get the polygons here, and we are using these polygons so that we can train the other areas that the image that the algorithm will not have seen. Right, so here let's just save. If you are done, you save this one, and this is a lot of work, right? So I'm not going to complete to digitize during this work, but I just want to show you example of what I've digitized. Okay, so this is an example of what I've digitized. So this is my building footprint that I've digitized for the project area. So as you can see, these are quite clean, and it's reflecting the project area. Right, so this is all about this training tutorial on how you create your training polygons for your project area of interest. So once you finish, make sure that you export the polygons that you have created, and then you save them as GeoJSON. Okay, you have to save them as GeoJSON because when we import in say in PyTorch, we use it for in TorchGeo. It's easy to use just one file. You can use the shapefile, but GeoJSON is much better. It's much smaller. So you just save it. You give it the name here. So TR 9207 A, and then you save it, and then it's going to be saved. Right, then we are going to use this layer later in Colab. So this layer has to be imported into a Google Drive, and then we can use it in Colab. Right, so this is all about this part of creating training data. It's time consuming, it takes a lot of time, so you should have patience, and you have to do it very carefully. So if we have another person who can check your training labels, the better. Right, thank you very much for watching this tutorial. So see you in the next one.